my lovelies. Welcome to the Miss Lillian's page. I am Crysta from Litter to Glitter. I am a furniture artist out of, I was getting ready to say Garland, but that's where we moved from. I'm from Berry, Texas. And I am I wanted to apologize. The last couple of weeks, my internet has been incredibly wonky, and they sent a satellite team out here Thursday, and we think we got it fixed. So what I need to do is start this off is a recap on everything that we've done to this piece, because I got bits and pieces and then the internet went out and decided it wasn't going to play well with me anymore. So what we're going to do is I am going to getting questions and comments. So when you get on, tell me hi, tell me what you're up to, tell me what you're working on, because I love that stuff. This is a antique pre-1900, so like 1899, older writing desk. Was given to me by a friend of mine. It was her great grandfather's. She didn't want it anymore. It's been sitting in my garage. What I've done is, first of all, there was a lot of stuff on this that was cracked, broken, missing, holes, dog chewed on a leg, a lot of repairs on this, a lot of mud. I know that I want to change the hardware from what was on it, and so I went ahead and I filled in the holes on the doors here and also up here. And let me see really quickly if I can do this without making too big of a mess. I should have thought about this, but I wanted to show you guys the inside of this. Usually I use a screwdriver, but I don't know where my screwdriver is right now. I wanted to, what? No, it's not going to play well with me right now, which is, okay. Ooh, I got it to budge. But yeah, I don't know where my screwdriver is. Usually I take the screwdriver, put it in the keyhole, and just yank it. But I kid you not, it looks like a little post office when this comes down. And so I wanted to recap what we're going to be doing on this so you'll know the next steps before I get into today's step. What I'm going to be doing is we are taking this, and I'll show you the inside down here. Get the little latch back here. This is going to actually be turned into a bar, a dry bar, liquor dry bar. Wish I could get that open. Oh, that's going to irritate me. It's okay. It's all right. I got this. So it's actually going to be a masculine piece because it's for my husband. And so up here, if you were like, why are these white? Okay. So mudded, sanded, gave it a base coat. The reason that these areas are white is because I'm going to be doing decoupage on them. Now, if I wanted my decoupage to be kind of muddled, maybe look a little bit aged, I would use a darker color underneath of my decoupage. If you want it to pop, if you really want the colors to show like they are on the decoupage, then you want to paint under it white. And I could have done it over this gray is called graphite, and that was what I used as my base coat. I could have done it, but it would have made it muddled. It would have taken some of the pop out of that decoupage paper, and that's not what I wanted on this piece. So painted just a little skim coat of white, and this is fresh sweet cream. And I always say fresh sweet corn, but I know it's fresh sweet cream, and I got it right this time. Go me. And so let me show you the decoupage. I've done this on one or two of the other lives, and as soon as I get to this point, everything dies on me with the internet. So this is going to be the decoupage on the top. You can see it's got the cowboy hat and the guitar. And so this is going to be up here on the top. And then since I have 2 packs of these, okay, we'll get that up there so it doesn't fall. I've got 2 of these sheets. I just need one to show you guys. It has the music. And so on the lower cabinet doors, we're going to put the decoupage of the music on the lower 2. And I also want you guys to see the color of the decoupage paper. So when we get to blending here in just a minute, you'll understand why we chose the colors that we did. Now, I already told you that I wanted to redo the hardware. Well, I have these are not, don't get PETA to come after me. These are not real elk horn, but they look like elk horn. And so these are big pieces. You can see by, my hand, it goes past my wrist. So this is not a set of handles that I could have just put on anything. And we've had these handles, we found them maybe 2 years ago, and they've been sitting here, and I'm like, So when my husband said he wanted this as a bar for the house, I was like, and we started talking about different themes. I knew we wanted to use these. So these are to hold. I've already filled in where my original hardware was, but what my husband is thinking is actually putting them kind of sideways over top of that decoupage paper, and also probably off, because if I put them here where the original hardware was, they're so big they're going to hit each other. So we'll probably put them off to the side, or we might even angle one in somewhere. And so we have 2 sets of these as well. So let me get that off to the side. Phew, that was a lot of talking. So just wanted to get you guys caught up on where we are. Let me get here, and I will. Okay, Ann from Indiana is watching. Hey, Ann. Sue Owens is on. She said she shared. Thank you so much. Junkin Jones gang from Jackson, Tennessee. She's on. Hello, Chastity from Junkin Jones gang. Thank you guys for joining me. So what I am doing is, as I am doing my little blend around, I'm actually going to be hitting this white, and that's fine. It's going to be covered with decoupage anyway. I just didn't want the whole thing. And I am using one of my absolute all-time favorite colors is Seaside Gray. So we're going to be using Seaside Gray. We're going to be using Chanel. We're going to be using creme brulee. And we're also going to be using River Stoned. Woo, almost lost it. And so those are the 4 colors that we've chosen to go along with the decoupage and the horns. And then let me throw those down there. It is a nasty, nasty, cold, rainy day here in Texas, but we're going to get through this together. So what I've done is, last week I actually had them all on one plate. I didn't like the way that was doing. Went ahead and base coated this thing. When I blend, I like to have a base coat. And so each one is in their own individual little containers. And what I have is, I use a chip brush in each one of my colors. And I'm going to be putting a little bit of paint on with each chip brush, and then blending it as we go along. When I do this type of blend, we have all different brushes, and any brush will work. I do like using these flat-tipped brushes when I do this kind of blend, because you can just kind of pat and move around, and it gives it some texture along with. And that's the thing, is that I did leave in some areas when I mudded it. I didn't sand it all the way smooth, because I do want some of that texture in it. So that's where we are. Junkin Jones gang says she loves Seaside Gray, especially with black walnut glaze. Yes, ma'am. That is an amazing, amazing color combination. The black walnut glaze is, it's so pretty. So I'm just I'll start anywhere, right? So this is some of the creme brulee, and I am just taking it and smudging it around, and down on the leg. And then this is the Chanel, and a little bit thicker, and so what I'm going to do when I'm done with smearing on my paint, I'll show you a really easy way to blend this all together. And if you do it a little bit thicker, it's fine, because you're going to paint it out. This is my Seaside Gray. I honestly, guys, I'm going to be real honest with you. I have yet to blend anything with Seaside Gray that didn't look amazing. Seaside Gray is one of those colors that will absolutely blend with anything. And when you look at it in the jar, you're thinking, no way, this is my river stone. And so I'm just going to be filling in some areas that you're thinking, no way, that's not going to blend. That's just Crysta. What are you doing? Trust me, I'm a professional. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take one of my flat brushes, and then with Miss Lillian's, when you blend, you don't really need to mist, but I have my heater way up in my studio. It is comfy in here. So let me see if I can get you guys just a little bit angled down. There you go. Hi. And then I am just going to flat up against it with the flat edge, and I'm just going to be moving it kind of in circles to get it. Now, since I painted the tip around white, I'm actually going to be putting my blend onto that side as well. So I'm going to be going up on the top here and around the side and around this side. And I'm just going to keep just moving it back and forth, up and down a little bit. Moving with my colors, moving with the blend, moving with the colors. And get up in that crevice, because I don't want that crevice to be white where my decoupage is going to be. And making sure I get the side, making sure I get my corners, making sure I blend it just a little bit better than it was before. Like I said, tapping like a woodpecker, straight in, almost 90-degree angle to the piece itself. And then just moving it around, moving from color to color. And when I throw my paint down the way that I did, that means I don't have to stop every couple of seconds to reload. And I'm going to open this all the way up so I can get this on this side all the way up to my edge on the top of my door. Come back and keep moving around and moving up. Moving on up. Sorry, not sorry. Moving around my edge. Like I said, 90-degree angle. Now up through here, I can see that I don't have a lot of contrast in that corner. So I'm going to take my chip brush. This is some of my creme brulee. I want it a little bit lighter right there. So I'm going to go back and add just a little bit of lighter in that area. And keep working around. And you can see it gives it a great texture, a great depth when you do it this way. And really, it speeds up the process instead of laying color after color after color and having to stop. I am moving right along. And since I have my base coat of the graphite on it, then if it's a little thin, I don't have to worry about the wood showing through. And honestly, on this piece, I'm not too worried about if the wood did show through, because I think towards the end of this, I'm probably going to be hitting this with the sander and distressing it anyway, because that's what we're looking for, is that deep texture and some aging. And well, to be honest, it's going to be our bar. So when we have people over, people are probably going to be, bumping into it and everything else. And if you know that a piece is going to be in a high traffic area, especially in my house, then I want to make sure that I'm not going to get upset if somebody messes it up. So if I go ahead and pre-distress it and it's already got a little distress on it, then it's not such a big deal if somebody hits it. What's up?
Stacy says hi. She's on YouTube and she's riding the bike at physical therapy.
Oh, hey, Stacy. Stacy's watching. She's at physical therapy, girl. I hope you're doing okay. Stacy came down, was on puppy patrol for me last Thursday. We had a great time together, and I am so looking forward to seeing Stacy again. I know I haven't gotten the comments here in a second. Once I get done with this door, I will be checking comments and questions. I'm just making sure that I get on the inside where that white was. Alrighty. And then again, going, and my dogs, they think somebody's knocking on the door, so I hear them just having themselves a field day barking in the other room. Wouldn't be so bad if I actually let them in here, but again, rainy day, and I don't want mud all over my studio. So that seaside gray, I put in a little bit more of, it wasn't the Chanel, it was the, the Chanel. And a little bit darker, I see. And then, and I've got a brush here, that's fine, got it. And then I can just go over and a little tap, tap, tappy, and blend it right in. And then come over here on the side of my door. And I think I want a little seaside gray. I'm not seeing a lot of my seaside gray in this blend. And so we'll get some of that seaside gray, bring it to the front a little bit. You can always add colors in when you want to add a little bit more or a little less, but I do throw out just general colors. And I think I got another brush here. There you go. Easier to get it out when it's wet than to dig it out and then have to sand it and then try to reblend it. So, and there you go. First door is done. So what I'm going to do is let me take you guys off the tripod. I will bring you in really, really close so you can see that this is a great way to do multiple colors, to get them blended in very, very quickly, very easily, and to also give you that texture. If you're like me, I love texture and I love layers. Everyone's like, why do you do so many processes? I just, I love when a piece has multi-layers on it. And this is a great way to do textures and layers in one process. So let me, and then bring you guys in. You can see all that ooey gooey beautiful texture. Trying to get the shadow because I am, using my front facing camera. And you can see how that is going to give it that gritty finish when we're done. So let me get over to comments real quick, and then I will get back to painting. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, Keely's on. Hey, Keely. She says, oh, Keely really likes the Riverstone. Jesse's on. Hey, Jesse. Let's see here. So Jesse, just so you know, I did place the order for your stuff and I will get it shipped to you in Australia as soon as it comes in. Should be next week. The piece is going to be smoking. Thank you, Sue. I really, Shorty and I really sat down and discussed what he wanted with this. And I really like the direction that it's going. I really, really like the direction that it's going. And so, and I'm also going to be blending the sides. I'm going to be blending the top. Now I'm going to use the decoupage that I showed you guys on the front. And today it started because, as you know, pieces evolve and you think you got a plan. And then your brain goes, well, what about this? So my brain, I have a transfer called The Never Ending Story. And it's words. It's like pages of a book, but not, you don't see the paper. It's just the writing. And so I was thinking about possibly even doing the Never Ending Story on the sides and possibly the top. So we might be adding that to this. You never know. Where you start out is not necessarily the way you're going to finish. It's just, your brain says, hey, let's try this. And you go, okay. So I love having my rollies, my big furniture dollies. And I was being a good girl. I actually put down a painter's tarp in front, and I couldn't get my piece to move because I hit my tarp. So All right, let's go. This is creme brulee. We're going to be laying on first. Like I said, just doesn't have to be perfect because you are going to be blending. And if you want it more on one side, or I just throw it on there, wherever the brush says I want to live here, that's where the paint goes. Next up, we're doing some Chanel. Chanel is a very warm, it's a very rich feeling color to me. I do like the Chanel. I do like the, well, it's like Chanel. It like a Chanel blanket. It has that warmth in it. And so we're going to throw down some of the Riverstone. Put a little bit in there, a little bit there, a little bit there. Yeah, and we'll do a little darker corner on this side. So throw some there, and then I'm going to follow it up with my Riverside or my Seaside Gray, and just do a little tap, tap, tappy in there. And in there, just where, because the reason that I'm doing this is so I don't muddle my colors in my bowl that I'm using. And so that gives me the ability, I'm not muddling everything. So I'm just giving it a little spritz. Again, it's a cold day here in Texas, so I have my heater cranked up and it's a little bit dry. This gives me a little bit more working time. And so we're going to start off with that Seaside Gray, the Creme Brulee, and the Riverstone over in this corner. And again, get my side here. So tell me what you think. What colors do you think that you would use on a piece like this, that you kind of want the country western, that decoupage that I showed you at the beginning? What colors, or even what colors would you like to blend? And if you don't know the specific Miss Lillian's color, just say, a teal and a gray or something like that. It doesn't have to be specific colors, but I love to find out and hear what colors people like together. Because I have an odd combination that I really, really enjoy. And it is like an electric pink with gray. I love that color combination of pink and gray. And people all the time, when I mention that, when we're having this discussion, they're like, pink and gray, are you insane? And I go, yes, and then I'll show them some pieces that I've done with the pink, especially like the electric pink and the gunmetal gray. To me, that I have always, ever since I was a child, I love pink and gray together. I think it is such a beautiful combination. And most people just kind of go, what? So I'm just getting down the side of my door, and I'm going to pull some paint from there to give it. Because I still, as I'm going through, I'm loading up my brush with other colors. So you can see that a little bit of paint goes a very, very, very long way. And we are just going to go up that side and hit this down this side to make sure that I'm covering up that white. All right, and then back to the main. Surprised my dogs aren't barking, because I'm in just a tap, tap, tapping right along. I will be adding some keyhole covers to this, where the keyholes are. I'm not sure if I'm going to use some wood you bend, or if I'm going to use effects, or I've got some keyhole molds that I might actually just throw some of my own molds on here that were Prima. And so we are still in discussion about what we're going to do for the keyhole covers. So we haven't made that final decision yet, and it's okay. Every piece is a piece, in transition. It's working. And so when you make a decision or you change your mind, never be upset at yourself for changing your mind. You changed your mind for a real reason, and because your mind just said, I want to do this. And that's great. Don't let anyone say, well, that's not what you said before. Well, I found that when I come up with ideas for pieces, sometimes I'm in a good mood, sometimes I'm in a bad mood, sometimes I'm in my rock and roll chick, and then other times I'm in the, the just a completely different state of mind. And so, depending upon my mood, will decide colors and things like that. Your mood changes. And so, if you change your mind, don't ever be upset. Just go with it. And I find my best pieces talk to me, and they will make their own mind up on what they want to wear. And once you decide upon your main elements, what I mean by my main element is, of course, my paint is a main element, but also the decoupage had a lot to do with my color choices. And so once I decided on the decoupage color, then everything else seems to be falling into place. Oops, please tell me I didn't. I smudged it just a little bit. Right there, when I opened it. All right, so since I'm not going to paint the inside of the doors, but when you open this, well, I might paint the back side of the door. I might actually do that. But you can see the legs and the front. And so I'm just going to throw a little bit around so when you open it, it's cohesive. Now that I think about it, yeah, I will probably paint the inside. Also on this piece, I did paint the back of this, and I'm not going to blend the back of this piece. And been in discussion with people throughout the years about whether or not you paint the back of a piece. And for the most part, I never did, because I'm like, well, it's going to be up against a wall. Most furniture's against a wall. And when we moved, hey, Delaney, I see Delaney's on. When we moved into the house that we're in now, we have huge windows. And there is a lot of places in the house that we put a piece of furniture down and we said, this is going to be great here, but you can see the backside from the outside of the house. And so we decided that from now on, when we paint something for our home, that we will be painting the backs as well from now on for us. And so we are just moving right along. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are sticking with me. I'm sorry, I usually check comments more, but when you're doing a blend, you kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing. And so thank you guys. If y'all have any questions from prep to finish to gilding jewels to whatever it might be, go ahead and pop them in the comments. And if I don't see them while I am live, I will go back and check the feed, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Also, we have a lot of great content creators, and we are constantly, one of us is checking stuff, and it might not be me right away. Somebody else may get to your question, but they are a plethora of knowledge. What's up, Austin?
Stacy said that she loves the combo.
Stacy likes the color combo?
She said another thing.
Uh-oh.
It would be cool to paint the backside of the door with chalkboard paint so you could write messages or information for drink mixtures.
I love that idea. So Stacy, she's on YouTube, and she said it would be cool to paint the backside, so the inside of the door, with chalkboard paint so you could write messages or info on drink mixes. I love that idea. And I think I missed a color. No, I got that one. I got that one. Yeah, okay. I just didn't put them all over the place. All right. Stacy. Huh?
Sue agrees.
Sue agrees. Okay, so Sue agrees. And Stacy, I think that is an amazing idea. And so when Shorty gets home, I will discuss it because, like I said, this is Shorty's piece. But I have a feeling that he is going to be all about that. You can even write the special of the day, or if we run out of something, somebody makes the last and they use the last out of a bottle, we can always put our shopping list up there. So, I mean, there's a million reasons that we would use that chalkboard on the interior, and I think that is a fabulous idea. So, I don't know if you guys, I am way off camera now. Let me get back, move that. So, I am getting down on this leg and going up this side. And like I said, just throwing down the paint is a great way to move and get it. And it's really, really fast, so you don't have to keep going back. Now on this, since I do have a lot of Seaside Gray in my brush right now, I didn't put a lot of Seaside Gray down because I'm going to be using it out of my brush. And I am going to be going across here. And you can, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see where that Seaside Gray that is still in my brush, I'm offloading that Seaside Gray onto the piece. And so even though I didn't put Seaside Gray on my brush or on the piece, I still have a bunch of it in my brush that is making it on to this piece. So again, 90 degrees, a little tap, tap, tappy as I move up, a little bit back and forth, maybe a little round, just kind of tapping around to mix and muddle in those colors. Even though, anything time you take more than one color of paint, everyone calls it a blend. To me, this is more of a muddle. This isn't so much a blend as it is a muddle. This is a muddled paint. And so right up here, and I want a little darker. I'm getting a lot of my light colors in. So I am going to, in my brush, start off in with that dark color and move it back out. And there we go. So we have the bottom muddled or blended, whatever you'd like to say. And there you go. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, mama likey. Mama likey. So my lovelies, let me see how long. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions or comments. Sue said, yes, chalkboard paint. Anne from Indiana says, great idea, Stacy. It's always great when you have talented friends because we feed off of each other's ideas, and I love it. There's been so many times that Stacy, Sue, Delania, Anne, Tia, there's so many of us that we just bounce ideas off of each other. And it's great to do that. I love having the community. So I am going to continue to work on this, and I will be back on my Litter to Glitter page on Thursday at 11 o'clock Texas time. That's noon Eastern for Painting with Whiskey and Women with my co-host Sue Owens. And I will be back here next Tuesday on the Miss Lillian's page. And I don't know how far I'm going to get on this piece between now and then. Thank you guys. My internet has held up. I got to do the whole thing. I'm so happy. And guys, much love, and I will see you back here. Oh, before I go, hold on. Miss Lillian's is having a 15% off sale. You put in coupon code ML New Year 15 for 15% off your order this month. So there you go. Much love, you guys. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.